When Mum and Dad opened the restaurant in 1986, none of us had any idea we were launching a full-blown adventure. It wasn't just a restaurant, it was an expedition into seafood, sunsets, and the chaos of hospitality. And me? I was just the kid running around the place like it was my personal playground.
Our story begins in 1986. And George and Vania Harrison set out to create something Wollongong had never seen. A seaside dining escape inspired by the iconic venues of Watson's Bay. The Lagoon didn't tiptoe onto the scene. It arrived with a splash, opening with a bang, and instantly stirring excitement across town. It was also one of the first local spots daring enough to serve true seafood-focused dishes and outdoor cafe-style seating. Bold, breezy, and totally new for Wollongong. Over the next 40 years, the adventures came in waves. Early weddings that would grow towards 7,000 plus. Birthdays on the climb towards 30,000 plus. Anniversaries racing toward 21,000 plus. Christenings heading toward 5,000. Corporate events beginning the journey toward 3,500. The Lagoon wasn't just a restaurant. It was an event factory, firing on all cylinders.
We opened with a bang. How can I describe it? Everyone in Wollongong was anticipating this lagoon, wondering, where is this? Because we had so much controversy in starting it off. We had town planners, we had the council, we had the aldermen, people who had tendered for it, and how dare we get it? So we actually were successful. My husband and I, George was a solicitor, I was a school teacher, knew nothing about restaurants, but we partnered up with Nick Manius, who was a renowned chef even back then, and then started plans for this place, and successfully tendered, and here we are, 40 years later. It surprised me how many people greeted us, welcomed us, and were looking forward to us opening. We didn't have to advertise. It was well known far before. It was in the paper all the time, and then word of mouth, it all just spread.
By the end of the 80s and into the early 90s, the Lagoon had already evolved into the Illawarra's unofficial headquarters for good times, big parties, and seaside magic. This wasn't just the beginning. This was the launch of a 4-decade adventure. Welcome to the Lagoon's action movie decade, the era of big crowds, big flavours, and one very big plot twist. By the late 90s, the Lagoon had levelled up into one of Wollongong's most iconic destinations, earning big city respect while still keeping that beach day charm. Every kind of celebration imaginable rolled through the doors. Valentine's, Mother's, Father's Days stacking up to 38 each. Wine dinners beginning their run toward 103. School formals on the way to 570. High teas and theme nights starting to explode in popularity. The Lagoon was buzzing until that night.
In January 2001, disaster struck. A fire tore through the restaurant and wiped out the entire original building. It was the kind of plot twist that could end a story.
But not this one. For more than 2 years, the Harrisons rebuilt, designing a new Australiana-inspired lagoon with grand balconies, ocean-soaked vistas, and room for up to 300 guests. It finally reopened in September 2004, stronger and more stunning than ever.
It was like the rebirth of it, starting all over again, but with a much more sort of a modern twist, if I can say that. It was fantastic because for 4 years we were closed. It was one battle after another with, after the fire, as you can imagine, a lot of controversy again. There we go, that word comes into our history a lot. So it opened very well and was so well received. Such lovely people from everywhere. Local, Sydney, I can't name the places where they come from, right from the beginning. So we're very happy and I'm very grateful that things went smooth after that.
And that wasn't the only change. In 2004, a new captain stepped up, Andrew Harrison. The kid who once swore he'd never join the family business, only to realise hospitality was in his DNA.
Because of course son Andrew took over then and just brought everything to a different level. Something that I couldn't do, but lucky enough for Andrew, he took like a duck to water.
With Andrew at the helm, the Lagoon evolved again. Fresh ideas, modern energy, and the same unbeatable views. And the celebrations didn't slow down, they multiplied. Bridal showers heading past 4,000, baby showers surpassing 3,600, wakes rising toward 2,200. Lagoon night markets becoming a local favourite. And yes, speed dating, painting nights, psychic nights. If it sounded fun, weird or both, the Lagoon did it. The decade ended with the Lagoon not just rebuilt, but reborn. A triumphant comeback worthy of any great adventure story. In this era, the Lagoon basically turned into the Illawarra superhero headquarters, unstoppable, community-minded, and always ready to host something big, bold, or downright bonkers. Awards? Oh, there were awards. 10 major national awards, 15 state awards, 150 hospitality awards. The Lagoon wasn't just good, it was a decorated champion. And the community events? This is where things get legendary. 114 major fundraisers, over 10,000 charity gift vouchers donated, 912 major sponsorships, 8,000 community sponsorships, involvement in Miss World Illawarra, Miss World New South Wales, Miss Australia judging. It was a decade of generosity on a superhuman scale.
Over the last 40 years, we've had so many events from day one. The community supported us by coming here, but we gave back to the community as well, with sports, with charities, with a lot of different organisations. We just contributed right through. Well, Melbourne Cup was always an event. Now, the one that is most memorable is one where we had 2,800 people here. And it was a 1 in 100 year storm. We had 3 fashion parades going. One was so expensive boutique that they had to have security guards fly up from Melbourne with the dresses. Ladies here were dressed to the T. And after that, we had 7 marquees all along here, sold out. Ladies ended up with their beautiful shoes designed in mud. The 1 in 100 year storm. We had 20 portable toilets, of which we lost the keys for that day. 2,800 people. So we just had our regular toilets here. Men, women coming and going. It didn't matter what toilet it was just chaos.
I think it's obvious, it's the fresh seafood that we get. You can eat some beautiful fresh fish, look out of the view here, the seaside, take in the sea air while you're eating your seafood platter. You know, whopping great big prawns, beautiful lobsters from West Australia. Get the Humpty Doo barramundi just from up the coast. And yeah, people enjoy that, love it. Get your hands dirty while you're eating it.
Now, there is a rumour that because of the community events, that Lagoon would receive thousands of thank you letters and that Vania had kept every single one of them.
Yes, it's true. It's not a rumour. It's true because they are here with me. I brought them with me just to show you. They are. Here they are. I've had them for years and years and years. I didn't want to part with any because each one means something. if they took the trouble to write congratulations or a thank you from a sports body or a school or a fete or 3 girls that we help raise funds for to go to America and England for treatment because they weren't doing well here in Australia. We raised funds for them, and there's so many, and I treasure each one. I don't know what's going to happen to them after I pass away, but here they are. I have them with me because we were so proud of everybody in the community and they loved us too. So you don't throw things like that away.
The Lagoon had become the Illawarra's living room, a place the community gathered, not just to eat, but to connect, laugh, celebrate, cry, dance, and always return for more.
What a moment to say goodbye to the Lagoon restaurant. 40 years, this is where I actually got married here. Many reminiscing, a lot of parties and weddings. Just want to thank you for the Lagoon for all the business with all the conferences and weddings and things like that. The moment has come and it's time to say goodbye to the Lagoon. Thank you. Mwah.
By 2016, the world had entered a restless chapter. A decade defined by disruption, uncertainty, and constant change. Politics was loud, technology was accelerating, and certainty felt increasingly rare. Businesses everywhere were being tested in new ways, forced to adapt faster than ever before. As the Lagoon entered its 4th decade, it too stood at the edge of an unpredictable era, just before the ultimate stress test arrived.
And then came the boss level challenge, COVID-19. A restaurant that almost operated 24/7 with fishmongers starting at 12 a.m. and cleaners finishing at 4 a.m. suddenly locked its doors.
But the Lagoon didn't panic. It pivoted, reinvented, re-engineered. Andrew and the team fought to stay open, adapt, and support staff and customers through the chaos.
COVID years was extremely difficult. The restaurant went from being a bustling sort of restaurant where we would seat 500 people every weekend to having no one in here at all. So overnight, basically, we had to lock the doors, as every business did, but it was a big shock to the system. You know, it's a restaurant that never shut the doors. We always had someone here from the early morning when we opened the doors at 7 a.m. and then our fishmongers starting at 1 a.m. The restaurant never closed. So I had a key, but I never actually used the key because everyone was here all the time. It was a 24/7 operation. So I had to go through my big keychain and figure out which one was the key to lock the door because the door had to lock finally after so many years. After I stopped feeling sorry for myself and decided that something has to be done to keep some income coming in. So obviously we had to work with the government and the regulations. But when they opened up for takeaway, we sort of stopped and thought, how can we capitalise on this? And we found that there was plenty of restaurants and venues doing that mid to low level style takeaway food. But no one was doing the high-end sort of expensive seafood. We decided we were going to take advantage of that, and we decided to do seafood platters. So we used to do a seafood platter with a bottle of wine, and we used to deliver it to people's homes. And what started out, quite slowly, ended up being a big spike. And basically, it was excellent for the venue. It kept our staff in a job. And it served a purpose. I used to do the deliveries myself sometimes, and it was fantastic. Used to turn up to someone's house with a seafood platter in a beautiful takeaway box. But you'd see people all dressed in a suit and all dressed up like they were going out, and this is what their date night was. They ordered a seafood platter and they'd sit at home and pretend they were out. But yeah, interesting times. Glad to be past that, no doubt. But we did okay through the seafood platters.
Even in the hardest years, the Lagoon spirit refused to dim. Celebrity visitors, school awards nights, corporate dinners, and all 38 years of festive traditions that continued whenever they could. The Lagoon stayed fun, fresh, and fiercely community-orientated.
I love the staff. Some of them make you pull your hair out, but I did love the staff. I loved weddings. I like being part of people's special occasions. They remember coming here. You get the families that come in and they say, You know, I came here with my grandmother's last birthday, which is a sad thing, but it's a happy memory for the family. I did love the weddings, the big celebrations of birthdays, Christmas parties.
10 head chefs over the last 4 decades, yeah. It's nice to be part of the memories, the Lagoon history, you know, and put my last seal of approval on it and go out with a bang.
Look, I feel it has carved a path in the Illawarra and in our hearts with service excellence and fine dining, or whatever the celebration was, it happened here. And this happened over many years. We're talking decades, I guess near on half a century. And really, it is not easy to pass businesses down through decades and generations and maintain the standard that has been set and held here in the Illawarra.
Then in 2025, the news dropped. After 40 years, the Lagoon's lease would not be renewed and the site would go to public tender. It marked the start of the Lagoon's final adventure, the farewell chapter.
Thank you for coming, supporting us, letting us be part of your memories as well. Some customers I'm going to greatly miss. A lot of them become family. Met some of my best friends from here. So just thank you to everybody for including us in your special memories and in your lives. It really did mean a lot to us, and know that you remember us, but we also remember you. So thank you for coming. That's it. I'm going to cry. I'm actually going to miss this place. So yeah, that's it.
For 40 years, by the edge of the ocean at North Wollongong, the Lagoon has been a place where people came not just to dine, but to feel something. Joy, comfort, connection, belonging. It was a restaurant, yes, but it was also a chapter in thousands of lives written beside the water.
I do remember we were taking on something that wasn't familiar, not to myself or my husband, and just wondering how it was all going to pan out. It was very nervous days, very nervous times.
Over the decades, the Lagoon became a backdrop to life's most meaningful moments. People arrived in love, or nervous, or hopeful. Families grew here. Friendships deepened here. Grief was held gently here. Whatever people were carrying, they brought it to the Lagoon. And somehow this place always knew how to hold it.
Well, the Lagoon's played so many different roles in my life. The place that took my parents away from me every day, they had to come and work here, and it took so much work to get this place the reputation and the standing that it has in the community, but it took a lot of work. My mum, I believe, and dad probably more had three children rather than my 2. I have a sister, but this was also like a sibling at the time, because we were all fighting for attention from my parents, and Lagoon was one of the siblings that I was fighting with. So it started off as the place that my parents worked, the place that put food on the table for us. You know, it was a place that was financially allowed us to have the life that we do. It ended up being a place that I worked during university years, and then it evolved into the place that I started to manage, and now it's the place that my children have grown up as well. So what does the Lagoon mean to me? It means everything to me. It's part of my life. I can't imagine my life without Lagoon. So it's going to be a very big adjustment for me. I don't think I've actually really reflected on that at this point, because I've been so busy. If it was a book, it's probably a lot of chapters in my life, that's for sure.
Now, as the Lagoon's 40 year comes to an end and the site prepares for a new chapter, this era, their era, reaches its final pages. The location remains the same, but the chapter written by the Harrison family closes tenderly, respectfully, and full of gratitude.
What a wonderful world.
The last 40 years the Lagoon has been part of our lives. We cannot separate our personal lives and the Lagoon. It's been part of it, as has the community. And a lot of customers that were customers have become friends. So it's always been part of our lives. And I think with the family growing up here and grandchildren, seeing them grow up, it's been a really beautiful experience.
So the Lagoon's always been a family business, and you know, when my parents started the restaurant in 1986, I was the age of my kids now, And I'm really proud that I've got to include my family in the story and my children.
I'm going to say thanks to Andrew to organise this thing for me, to support me as well. So yeah, so I'm part of the staff, all the guys. I'm making new friends as well. I'm here, so yeah, it's been great.
So it was good for Wollongong. It's very sad now that we're leaving it. I'm too old to go back and start it again. You know, I'm 78 and I've got no energy. A couple of years ago, I was really keen to tender again. But this year, I'm just getting too old. My legs letting me down.
I feel they're really to be congratulated to have maintained such a standard and created so many memories for so many of us in such a wonderful venue. And I hope that they go on now to enjoy retirement and the next chapter of their lives. And I personally want to say a big thank you, and especially to the big functions they had, the annual function, which of course I feel they themed those nights and those luncheons like no one else did. It was just always an extravaganza and wonderful memories for so many of us.
It's been a wonderful time at the Lagoon Restaurant. I've loved every minute of it. The organisation has been fantastic, the service has been great, the food has been fantastic, and I wish everyone at the Lagoon all the best for the future.
I'd just like to say that this was a great place and it's sad that it's all coming to an end. And thank you for supporting us for all these years and just, yeah.
It's a very sad time, but like a good book, things have to have a start, a middle and an ending. So I guess this is the ending of this story for the Lagoon, but like other things with good books, it will stay in our memories for a long, long time.
And so, as the doors prepare to close one last time, we don't say goodbye. We say thank you. Thank you for the memories, the laughter, the tears, and the love carried in and out of these walls. This is not an ending. It's the beginning of remembering the Lagoon. 40 years of us.
Even though the Lagoon started off as a rival sibling, I must say the Lagoon is a massive part of my life. And I'm going to miss coming here every day, and I'm going to miss the highs, and I'm going to miss the lows. But I've got no doubt that the new people coming in, the new tenants of this building, will keep the dream alive, and they'll bring their own twist to it, and they'll provide more memories for the people of Wollongong. And I wish them all the luck and success that we've enjoyed over the years. And for me, it's goodbye for now.